Imagine a young girl riding quietly through tall grass, a baby on her back, her eyes watching the land around her. Mountains rise in the distance and a wide river flows nearby. She is not just along for the ride, she is guiding explorers through an unknown land. Her name is Sacajawea, and she played one of the most important roles in one of America's greatest adventures. Sacajawea was born around 1788. She was a member of the Shoshone tribe, a group of Native Americans who lived in what is now Idaho and Montana. When she was around 12 years old, she was taken from her tribe during a raid by a group called the Hidatsa. She was taken to live in their village, far from home. Life changed quickly for young Sacajawea, and she had to learn to survive in a new place. As a teenager, Sacajawea was married to a French-Canadian fur trader named Toussaint Charbonneau. He spoke both French and some native languages. Sacajawea became pregnant and gave birth to a baby boy named Jean-Baptiste in early 1805. She was still very young, but her life was about to become even more extraordinary. At that time, the United States had just purchased a huge area of land from France. This was called the Louisiana Purchase. President Thomas Jefferson wanted to know more about this new land. What kinds of animals and plants lived there? What rivers ran through it? And who lived in the region? He sent two explorers, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, to lead a journey called the Corps of Discovery. They would travel from the Mississippi River to the Pacific Ocean and write down everything they saw. Lewis and Clark needed help. They needed people who knew the land, the rivers, and the native tribes. They met Charbonneau and asked him to come along as a guide and interpreter. He agreed, but he had one special request. He wanted to bring Sacajawea. Lewis and Clark quickly realized that she could be a big help. She spoke both Shoshone and Hidatsa, and she knew the land. Even more, the fact that she was a young woman with a baby made other tribes less likely to see the group as a threat. In those days, war parties never traveled with women and babies. Sacajawea joined the expedition in April 1805, when her baby was only 2 months old. The journey was long and very hard. The group traveled by boat, by foot, and on horseback. They crossed rivers, mountains, and wide open plains. There were storms, animals, and mosquitoes. They had to hunt for food and sometimes went hungry. Sacajawea did all of this while caring for her baby, whom the explorers called Pomp. She didn't just walk or ride. Sacajawea helped in many ways. She showed the group where to find wild plants and roots they could eat. She helped keep the peace when the group met new tribes. She helped Lewis and Clark get horses from her own Shoshone people, which were needed to cross the Rocky Mountains. When one of their boats tipped over in a river, she helped save important maps, books, and supplies from the water. One amazing moment came when the group finally met with the Shoshone tribe. Sacajawea was shocked and overjoyed to recognize the chief. It was her brother. She had not seen him since she was taken as a child. This moment helped the expedition even more. Because of their family bond, the Shoshone agreed to help Lewis and Clark by giving them horses and guides. Without Sacajawea, this might not have happened, and the journey could have ended right there. Sacajawea was brave, strong, and smart. She traveled thousands of miles through dangerous and unfamiliar lands, but she never gave up. She protected her baby and helped the group succeed in their mission. The explorers trusted her and valued her presence. Even though she didn't write journals like Lewis and Clark did, they wrote about her often and praised her helpfulness and courage. In the fall of 1806, after traveling for more than a year and a half, the expedition returned to St. Louis, Missouri. Sacajawea, Charbonneau, and their son left the group there and returned to their own lives. Lewis and Clark respected her so much that they later helped arrange for her son to get an education. He would go on to travel to Europe and become a well-known young man. Not much is known about the rest of Sacagawea's life. Some say she lived only a few more years. Others believe she lived for many more years with her tribe and may have had more children. No one knows for sure. But what we do know is that her role in the Lewis and Clark expedition was unforgettable. Sacagawea's story was almost forgotten for a time, but later people began to realize how important she was. In the early 1900s, statues were built in her honor. Schools, parks, and rivers were named after her. In 2000, the U.S. government put her on a $1 coin, showing her carrying baby Jean-Baptiste on her back. This made her one of the first Native American women to appear on American money. Today, Sacagawea is remembered as a symbol of courage, leadership, and strength. She reminds us that sometimes the most powerful heroes are the quiet ones. She wasn't the leader of the group, and she didn't ask for fame, but she made a huge difference. Her knowledge, kindness, and bravery helped shape the future of the United States.